Hi everybody, it's Dandruff with your news cartridge for Wednesday, March 1st, 2017. Welcome to Wednesday, and oh boy, I have a great show in store for you today. It begins with EA laying out their plans for the rest of the DLC coming to Battlefield 1. The DLC known as They Shall Not Pass has already released, with the next one being In the Name of the Tsar taking place in Russia. After that it will be Turning the Tides, and it will feature sea combat, and I'm really interested in seeing how DICE is going to handle that. The final one is called Apocalypse, and it's very vague in its description, but advertises unique weapons born out of desperation. Ooh, sounds fun! Yesterday I covered a leak of March's PS Plus games, and today Sony revealed that the leak was accurate. PS4 owners will indeed be getting Disc Jam and Tearaway Unfolded, but now we know PS3 owners will be getting Under Night in Birth and Earth Defense Force 2025. PS Vita owners will be getting Lumo, which PS4 owners will also get, and Severed. These games come to all subscribers on Tuesday, March 7th. Out today on Xbox One and PS4 is A King's Tale Final Fantasy 15. It's actually a brawler game, not an RPG, and best of all, it's free for everyone. Kolin, the Russian fighter, is now a playable character in Street Fighter V. Overwatch's public test realm has been updated to version 1.8, bringing many changes to Bastion, and as always, you can find a link to the full patch notes down in the description below, as well as links for sources for all of today's stories. The developer of Yandere Simulator has partnered with publisher TinyBuild in order to help him finish the game. Development began back in 2014, so hopefully this will allow Yandere Dev, as he is known, to complete his game much sooner than expected. Bethesda has announced they are partnering with AMD to optimize their games for both AMD Ryzen CPUs and AMD Vega graphics cards. Hopefully what this means is Bethesda's games become less buggy and run better overall. The price of VR dropped significantly today because the Oculus Rift headset now costs $499 rather than $599, and the price of the touch controllers has been cut in half down to $99. I can't say for sure that this is because of what Oculus says, that they're trying to push VR forward, or that it's because they're in legal trouble and so far the law has not been on their side, and they want to sell as much product as possible before they're not able to sell it anymore. But I'm interested in knowing what you think. Is the price drop enough to get you to buy an Oculus Rift? Let me know in the comment section down below. Up next, of course, is some Nintendo Switch news, and the first review of The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is in, and Famitsu has given the game a perfect score of 10 out of 10. Hopefully this fares well for the Breath of the Wild, but remember, different people have different opinions, which they're all entitled to, and if the game is given a low score, please try not to overreact. Moving on, 17 indie games have been announced for the Switch, including Stardew Valley and SteamWorld Dig, which I mentioned yesterday. Nintendo is dubbing their line of indie games as Nindies, and Nintendo has done it. They have come up with a name that is as clever as it is cringy. I'm not going to list all of the games here. You can find them through links in the description down below. One more game has been crowbarred into the Nintendo Switch launch lineup at the last second. New Frontiers, a town building game that looks a lot like a mobile game, and it's releasing to the Nintendo Switch eShop on Friday for $9.99 US or your regional equivalent. New reports are saying the Nintendo Switch Pro controller is compatible with PCs via Bluetooth. I wasn't able to find anything about it working via a USB connection, but it cannot be used and charged at the same time. It uses USB Type-C to charge, but I did find that it will work with Steam's Big Picture mode. More on this will be learned on Friday when the Nintendo Switch launches. Finally, on the Nintendo Switch, Digital Foundry has done some of their own testing with the JoyCon controllers, and their results are in line with the previous claims. They indeed found that the left JoyCon controller is dropping signal from being obstructed by physical objects, even just 2 meters, or roughly 6 feet, away from the system. Nintendo has been quiet about this ever since it has been discovered. I am hoping they have a fix for it coming on day one, or at the very least that they're aware of it and working on a solution. And that brings us to our final topic of the day, and I warned you about this yesterday, the GTX 1080 Ti, which was officially revealed yesterday. I have gotten quite the influx in views and subscribers lately, so for those of you who may not know, I'm about to go on and on about this thing, so strap in if you're not prepared. This one's gonna be a doozy! Now, I'm not going to start with the Ti itself, because I feel as though it's more important to address the GTX 1080, the non-Ti, which has had its price lowered to $499 US. I feel like it's really important to start with that, not just because Nvidia did with their presentation last night. We'll get more into that later. So on to the main event. The GTX 1080 Ti was revealed last night with its 11 gigabytes of G5X VRAM on an odd 360 152-bit bus. The RAM is clocked at 11 gigahertz, a whole gigahertz faster than the Titan XP. It's got 3084 CUDA cores, the same as the Titan X Pascal. It uses the exact same GPU core as the Titan X Pascal. Other than the amount of VRAM, this card only differs from the Titan XP by having 8 fewer ROPS, or render output units, and a couple other minor specs here and there that I doubt will have an effect on performance. This amount of horsepower comes in at $699 US and is launching sometime this month. Call me cynical, but I do not like this card. Don't get me wrong, I think this is the best card for gaming on the market, but it kinda screws over the people who bought a Titan XP for $1,200 over the last 7 months. This card is going to perform the same, if not better than the Titan XP, and it costs a little over half the price. If anything, the actions by Nvidia suggest that no one should ever buy a Titan unless they're willing to overpay to have the same level of performance as a card released a few months later. They did something similar with the release of the GTX 980 Ti, which saw similar gaming performance to the Titan X Maxwell. But one could argue there was more offered there than an extra gigabyte of VRAM. Do I recommend this card? If you're gaming at 4K and you're on something like a 980, then yes. But this card is very expensive, and only for those who are looking to have the best performance out there and have a display that the 1080 Ti is necessary to drive. But because the 1080 had its price lowered to $500, more than likely the other cards in the 1000 series will have a price shift too. If you're gaming at 1080p 60Hz, something more like the 1070 or 1060 would be a much smarter option for your dollar. Lots of people, including myself, have been looking for an AMD card to dub the Titan Killer. I just never thought that card would be the 1080 Ti. Will you be getting a 1080 Ti, and from which manufacturer? Let me know in the comments section down below. Want to play a game on your new graphics card? Well, how about one of tomorrow's game releases? For PC, Escape the Mazes, Sin Castle, Dying Star, Star Merchant, Inno, or Eno? I don't know. And The Last Patient. For PlayStation 4, ACA Neo Geo NAM 1975. Thank you very much, everybody. This has been News Cartridge. I am Dandruff. I will see you tomorrow. And I tried to look up lighters on Amazon. All I got were 13,749 matches. Okay, I can't really do a very long end card because my daughter's acting up and she's making noise, and yeah, I gotta go do dad stuff, take care of her, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, I don't think the 1080 Ti is a piece of shit card, like some cards have released in the past. They're just like, well, why is this out? This doesn't make any damn sense. AMD 300 series. I didn't say that. Anyway, it's just, I feel like there should be some difference between the Titan XP and the 1080 Ti, and I don't think that there's gonna be. Once it releases, we're probably gonna see, like, yep, it performs the same as the Titan XP, it performs the same, it's like in every single game, it performs the same. Either that is gonna perform within a 3 to 5% difference, which is within the margin of error as far as I'm concerned. So there's no difference. You can't run 3 of them, so you can only run 2 of the damn things. I don't know if that'll bottleneck, if 2 cards will bottleneck on any Intel processor or any AMD processor, especially with Ryzen coming out. That's going to change the whole shebang for SLI and Crossfire specs. I don't know. This week is really stressful. I'm going to go edit this thing. AMD Ryzen CPUs tomorrow. Wow. Switch on Friday. Let's go, everybody. Social media links. Click over here to subscribe. You're going to need to get your information for the next 2 days. And over here for yesterday's video. Goodbye, everybody.